Hello, I'm Matt Dean. I'm going to be your instructor this semester for ED 350 or ED 520. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you for the first couple of days of class, but I'm in Washington, D.C. on a school-related trip. I want to get us started even though I'm not there, and the first thing that I want to do is to make sure that everyone can get into the class website, and that's Angel. Pretty much everything that we do in this class is going to be paperless. You'll submit your assignments through Angel. You'll get all your classwork through Angel. There will be very few instances in this class where we actually use paper. So in terms of getting started, I emailed you earlier a handout that looks like the one that you can see on the screen here that talks about how to get into Angel. If you don't know how to access Angel, you're first going to go to the Angel website, which you can see right here, https://angel.uah.edu. Once you get there, you're going to use the first part of your UAH email address, your user ID, as your login name. And your password, unless you've changed it to something else, is your first and last initial and the last 6 digits of your banner A number. So let's go to the Angel login screen. This is the login screen. I'm going to put in my username. Go ahead and hit login. More than likely, you're not going to see all the options that I see, but you should see ED 350/520 merged, summer 14. Click on that. That will take you to our course. Now, the things that I want you to notice while we're looking, if you go to the Lessons tab up at the top, you'll find a lot of resources under the Lessons tab. Some of these things you probably won't be able to see, but we want to talk about 2 of them in particular. Let's start by looking at the syllabus. So ED 350/520 syllabus summer 2014. If you'll click on that, eventually it will open up this file. So here's the syllabus. We're going to meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7. We're going to meet here in room 211 normally. There's not a textbook required for the course. We're going to have lots of reading to do, but all those readings are going to be linked up online. It would be nice if you had a flash drive or a jump drive to save your files on. In terms of important dates, today is the official first day of class, but we're meeting digitally. The last day to withdraw and get a refund is June the 2nd. Class will not meet on the 27th, the 29th, or June 26th. The last day to withdraw completely is June 16th. Our last regular class meeting day is going to be June 21st. We're not actually going to have a final exam, but we're going to do some final project presentations, and those are going to be carried out on Friday, June 27th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. That's our regularly scheduled exam time, so make a note of that. As we go through the syllabus, I'm not going to read all the course description and course objectives to you, but essentially we're going to cover as much as we can in terms of topics related to educational technology. We'll look at pieces of hardware and also types of software that might be of relevance to teachers. We'll be looking at pieces of hardware like clickers, smartboards, and Elmos. We'll look at course management systems like Angel and Edmodo and Moodle, and lots of other things on the technology spectrum. In terms of the way your grade is going to be set up for this class, first of all, you need to prepare each day by reading the assigned material, completing the assigned lab exercises or tutorials. Your grade is going to be composed mostly from projects. 75% of your grade will come from projects. There'll be 5 of those. The first one, although these are not necessarily in the order that we'll do them, the teacher technology presentation and Edmodo project, that's 20% of your grade. The PowerPoint project is going to make up 10% of your grade. The education website / portfolio project is another 15. You're going to make a grade book in Excel, that's 10%, and also you're going to do a Movie Maker YouTube project, which is another 20% of your grade. In addition to the projects, you're going to maintain a reflective journal or a blog, and you're going to set this up on blogger.com. We'll talk about how to do that here in just a second. The reflective journal and the reflective paper, which goes with it, compose 10% of your grade. Now, if my math's correct, that's 85% that we've accounted for so far. The other 15% will come from the daily tutorials that you do on different types of software that we're going to use in this course. So again, the breakdown for the grade: tutorials 15%, projects 75%, and the reflective journal and paper 10% of your course grade. Let's try to avoid incompletes in any way. And also make sure that you're in class. Being in class is really important. We're going to go over topics in a pretty harried pace since we're dealing with these long class days. So if you miss one class day, it's like missing a whole week on a normal semester. Let me scroll down a little further here. In terms of your project expectations, make sure that everything gets turned in on time and to the right place. The calendar, which we'll look at in a second, in Angel will tell you exactly what's due, when it's due, and where to put it. So just make sure you follow those directions. I will not accept late projects or assignments. If you need to get in touch with me, let's try to keep our communication going through Angel. As I said earlier, we're going to try to do everything through Angel. So if you need to get in touch with me, just email me an Angel email, and I'll be pretty quick to get back to you. Next thing on the syllabus is the usual Americans with Disabilities Act statement. If you need any special accommodations, please let me know about those. Next thing is the academic misconduct policy. Cheating, plagiarism, those are completely not allowed in this class. Please follow all the university guidelines on those topics. Since we're in the computer lab, there's some do's and don'ts. Please keep your cell phones, pagers. Hopefully you don't have a pager. You'd be really old school if you did. Or anything like that turned off or at least on silent. Please don't play games or do Facebook during class. Every semester I collect a lot of flash drives that people leave in the computers. Make sure you check for those. And also, don't shut the computers down when you're finished for the day. Just log off. But it's very important that you log off. It's also very important that you check your UAH email account regularly and that you check your Angel email account regularly. Other than that, I think I've kind of finished going over the syllabus for the time being. I want us to go back into Angel. And for today, the main thing we want to look at is the calendar. So you're going to go up to the calendar tab up at the top of the page. Navigate to the date of the class that you're concerned about. Let's go to the first class, May 27th. Click on that Introduction to ED 350-520 link, and then click on Agenda for today. For every day of class, your calendar will look something like this. You'll have the date up at the top. Usually it's going to be in a black box. In pink, you'll have any assignments that are due today. And that particular box will always tell you what's due, when it's due, and how to turn it in. In green, you'll have the activities for class today. And you'll notice there's several of those along the way. We'll come back to that in a minute. And then down at the bottom, almost always in yellow, you're going to have assignments to complete for class for the next class. For example, for this first week, there's several readings that you need to do and a couple of other topics that you need to do as well. But again, the calendar layout is always going to be consistent. Black up at the top will be the date. Pink in the middle, assignments due today and also where to turn those in. Green, the actual class activities for the day. And finally, in yellow, activities to do for the next class. So if we look at the activities for today, first thing that you need to look at is that there's a survey. If you will click on the link and simply follow the directions and take the survey, I'd appreciate that. I'm going to talk to you later on in this video or a companion video about how to set up a survey of your own using a piece of software called SurveyMonkey. We'll get to that in a second. The next thing that we want to look at is the bulletin board. Now, if you're not familiar with bulletin boards, in Angel there's a bulletin board used to communicate with other students and with the instructor. It's under the Communication tab. So if you go up to Communicate, over on the right side of the screen, notice there's Introductions. Click on that. And essentially the directions for the bulletin board activity are right there in front of you. Post an introductory message that tells the class a little bit about you. Make your name the title of the post. Include information like your content area, your grade level, interest, hobbies, where you're from, and etc. So again, you're going to go to New Post. The post title will be your name. And then just enter the information that it asks for here. So I'll do this for myself. My content area, I'll just say, first of all, I'll do a little hello message. Hello message. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Once you finish, scroll down and just hit submit. And between now and next class, take some time to read over some of the other people's posts to get to know someone you don't know. Again, I'll go back to calendar. Click on the link. All right, I'll pull up again today's date. So far we've looked at the survey. We've looked at the bulletin board message. And I'm going to leave it there in this part of the video. And I'll have another part of the video in which I talk to you about how to set up a survey and also how to make your journal or blog.